All right, in this video, I'm going to walk you through in real time how I make these planed version of portrait photos to do painting exercises from. All right, welcome to Paint Coach. If you're new to the channel, my name is Chris Fornatero, and I help painters get better, whether it's through my YouTube channel here or my online courses on Teachable and tutorials on Patreon, where combined I have over 12,000 students. Now, if you've never seen this exercise before of painting a portrait with just flat planes, it is extremely helpful. It's going to help you see more form than what's in the photo, and it's just going to drastically improve your ability to paint portraits. If you want some more in-depth explanation on this exercise, I made a whole video on it, and I'll put a link to that video above right now. But people always ask, is it a filter? Is it an app? No, it's neither. It's in Photoshop. So let's jump on into Photoshop and do this. All right. So what do we have here in Photoshop right now? Right now I got two versions of the photo. We're just going to be taking this photo of Daniel Craig from James Bond. And I've taken my Asaro head model and lit it the same way as the face here. And I kind of figured out, as close as I could, the lighting. I kind of figured that the lighting's coming from the front because, each side of his face has light, but there is kind of more of a shadow on this side. So I kind of figured the light was like a little more towards the right, but still straight on. You can see like the brightest part is in the center. Another little tell is like where this reflection in the nose is. If it was like all the way over here, it's like, all right, the light's far to the right. If it was like all the way over here, light's to the left. It's kind of a little trick that I use. But I have two versions of the photo because like as I start painting in on this, I still want to be able to like come over here and like grab colors that I've painted over. And if you don't have an Asaro head, I highly, highly, highly recommend getting one up. You just go to planesofthehead.com. I'll put a link in the description to where you can get those. Yes, there are apps, but nothing beats the actual, having the head in person. I don't think I've come across a professional portrait artist that doesn't have one of these. Let's jump on in, and you can kind of start anywhere on this. To pick colors, I press Option, and then I just select color. So I can just kind of go around and select the color I want. I always like to start with something easy. So let's start with the forehead, like these three planes, and kind of get those going. So the middle one's definitely the lightest. So if I kind of see, like, even as I go through the forehead here, there's a whole bunch of different colors, but let's just try and find a relatively light one. And I can just kind of fill that in here. And now it gets a little bit darker here. And this plane kind of goes to right where the like the eyebrow turns the corner, comes up there. And then you can see this is darkest plane. Getting that. And we got this. Yeah, it changes plane. It gets slightly darker there. A little too dark. Something like that. And then it starts to get, darker than this right here. So I got that. And you can see like, there's a, I didn't have to choose these exact colors. Like there was other colors that I could have picked throughout here. What's mainly important is the value. Let's see, this is darker here. Whoops. And this, that's a little too dark. Maybe something like that. See, now we got forehead. Now, something that's really cool about this, I'll go down and get into more of the face, but something that's really cool with this too is this is going to help you with painting hair. If you've seen any of my videos on painting hair, I always talk about constructing the form first. And that's what I'm doing here, like constructing planes. This is definitely the lightest here. And that plane turns away from the light, gets slightly darker. I'm just probably gonna carry that color all the way there. Now there's a turning plane right here, which is gonna, like making that dark is gonna give lift to that hair and make it sit off the head a little bit, because it's not it's not flat against his head. Just going through, and I'm also like thinking about what I'm doing, and like, all right, obviously there's going to be less light the further you go down, because if the light is coming from above, it's going to be, this is the brightest area up here, and as you go down, it's going to get darker and darker. So, you can see we got the hair kind of sculpted out there, which is nice. Now, let's go down. Let's just go down to the eyes here. I'm going to zoom in. Let's do the right eye. I'm going to take a break here and just let you know, if you struggle with mixing skin tones, I know a lot of my students do. I actually offer a free lesson on mixing skin tones. In it, I go over the colors I like to have on my palette for when I'm painting portraits, and I demonstrate how I mix and get skin tones. If you want to check that out, there's a link to it in the description of this video. Now this Loomis head, not Loomis head, Sorrow head, the eyes are different, like half the face is simpler than the other half. But let's just do the eye. Now you see this bottom eyelid consists of kind of two major planes there. And you can see this one on the left is lighter than this one on the right, because it's, not, this front one is facing the light more. But I can see in here, that's light, and actually gets a little darker because this part, it's curving back. You can kind of break these into eyelids into three planes. So then got one right there. Same thing if you look, well, his top eyelid, you can't really see that much, but right above it, like this area, that's lighter, then it shifts to dark. And even if there's hair on there, like this eyebrow, that's still going to be happening. It's just going to be happening with the color of the hair. So I have that. And this one's a little lighter. Now with the eyebrows, think about eyebrows just like any other plane. You're just probably going to use like a soft edge with it. But the part of the eyebrow here that goes into the eye socket, it's more shadowed. So like when I paint that, that's what I'd be thinking about. Now just in general, like as I go through here, you're going to hear me refer to planes as like one of two things. I either call them a shelf or a wall, meaning let's pop down to the mouth. This is a good example. Like a shelf is something like this bottom lip where it's acting more like a shelf and it's catching more light because it's facing up more. Whereas right here is more of a wall. It's, not facing the light. It's more straight up and down. So you'll hear me kind of referring to that a good amount. And so you can see this is catching more light. Kind of what I pointed out with this eyelid and, kind of the three different planes. Catching the light, you're going to see that repeated a good amount. Like I'm seeing it repeated here. Again, you'll see it repeated down in the mouth and the lips and everything else, the nose. Speaking of the nose, let's jump down to the nose. So the top plane is going to be the lightest. So I can kind of make sure that is right there. Now I'm going to take this dark, because this plane here gets a little darker. It's really small on him right here. Help get that brow bone. And the left side is dark. This side is darker than the bridge, but it's still relatively light. And you see this front plane of the nose? It's darker, but it's not the darkest. You can definitely see that here. So that's definitely a dark, but then darkest area is going to be there. So that just breaks down the nose very, very simply. Now let's go to like this cheek area here. And Something that you can do, probably could have mentioned this earlier on. It's like one of the first things I do is I kind of check the model and then check the photo to see that things match up. Like this is a really light spot, and it's like, all right, I see that's like really light on here too. You know, this part plane above the mouth is very light. It's very light as well here. So it's like, all right, this is all, it's all kind of working, and the lighting is working right. So I'm going to take a light here, kind of map out that plane. And then there's a wall here. It's very subtle. I feel like it's missed a lot. I used to miss this a ton. And there's a wall there. And then there's this plane happening right here. And then it drops off to this wall, which is slightly darker right here. And cool thing with these planes is that, like, you can see change in skin tone down here because of facial hair. Kind of you see like more greens and it's cooler. You can shift the color and get that in as long as you make sure it's in the right value. So this is the same value pretty much as that, but it's slightly different in color. Keep this going. Now it does change a little bit there. Kind of come back. I don't have to go 100% by the Asaro head model. It's just kind of a guide. If I see other planes just from like the folds and the skin and stuff like I did there, I can get that in. You know, like I see this light. It's a little bit darker. Now for the mouth, top of the mouth, you know, this right side, it's definitely darker than the middle. And then you got the right side or left side here. You see how getting those right will create form. Now let's actually go to the lips, because there's actually planes with the lips. First off, a lot of times you can see top lip is a lot darker than the bottom lip. It's really hard to see. His lips are really small here, but the trying to grab the right side. Let me go to this one. The right side of his top lip is slightly lighter. Now with the bottom lip, you can see in our plane model, middle plane's lightest. So get that in, and then these go a little bit darker. It's very subtle, but the shift is still, it's still there. And this will help you a lot with your brush work, because knowing these planes, you know, you'll be able to have loose brush work, but since it's in the right value in the right place, it's still going to read. So it's going to look like, when you have loose brush work, it's going to look like careless and like, oh, they were just going, you know, they weren't thinking about it and they were just painting. It's like, no, they're thinking about it quite a lot. You know, I always say like painting loose actually requires you to be more careful in certain aspects, more skilled. Okay, so let's move up here. Like I'm seeing this whole area is like kind of a, you know, over here, catching more light, more of a shelf type. So I can communicate that. And then all this, get them out darker. This is definitely the darkest plane there. And it's kind of going back in certain areas and cleaning up, making it look more plane-like. All right, down here, it's definitely darker. Now coming down to the chin, chin's always fun because you see this shelf plane. You'll see that a lot because it's facing upward. And then once it becomes a wall, it gets a little darker here. And then again, three planes showing up again. And this could probably just be brought down like that. It's interesting. You see this like blue right under there. It's pretty cool. So that's something that, like, if you're painting this from life, would be a lot more obvious. That's what I've noticed from painting from life, is like reflected light, it gets to be a lot more obvious. But if you paint enough from life, you pick up, like I just saw that and picked that up. So when I paint it, I'm probably going to enhance that a little bit more than what is really there. All right. This plane here, slightly darker. Definitely seeing that happening. It's cool how doing this exercise kind of trains you to look for certain things. This kind of actually gets slightly darker because this little dark plane, definitely seeing that here. And then this there. All right, I'm just gonna bring that. And eyelids, even though they're so small, like, just know it's dark. I think it's kind of too small to get into, but I'll probably, let me try it. Whoopsie. Let me zoom in here. Make my brush super small. This eyelid, I think it's slightly darker. Changes planes, goes back. You can kind of see a little bit here. Gets a little bit lighter right there. And then darker again, that whole 3-plane thing. And he's got that. I'll leave the eyes alone. Just straighten that out. All right, let's zoom out a bit. All right, now let's do this eye. You can definitely see dark there, slightly lighter, lightest right there. Now we have eyelid with form. Same, look at this, right in the middle where the light's hitting. Lighter, darker, a little darker for the eyebrow. Light in the center, darker, darker right there. All right. And then ears. That. It's a little darker as it turns back there. Get the lightest right there. So that's about it. All right, long video, I know. Now, I actually did do a full painting tutorial of Daniel Craig here, using that planed version of the photo as kind of help or a reference to. If you want to check that out, that full tutorial is on my Patreon page, which I put a link to in the description of this video. All right, I'm Chris Fornatero here telling you to go get painting.